people in as they pop up here. Okay, it's
Sounds
one
good.
more coming in.
Okay.
Okay, good afternoon, everybody. Today's presentation is about how to transfer your right choice 401k to the new Prime Providers 401k. And what we did was we took all this information and we kind of filtered it down to really crisp instructions that are available now. Don has also emailed these instructions out as well, and there's presentation will be made available, the recording of it, for later use. But one thing I'm going to recommend is, this is me. I've been the Right Choice 401k advisor for many years now. I'm also now the new Prime Providers 401k advisor, so I'm available as well. That's my contact information. And what that paragraph says is, I am so dedicated to helping you guys build wealth for you and your family. Today, we're going to explore three main points. Number one, how to withdraw your 401k from Paychex, how to transfer it to the new Prime Providers 401k that currently is at ADP, and then I'm going to share some useful tips, such as how to track your money so it doesn't get lost, and some other ideas as well. I highly recommend, strongly suggest that you take notes during this presentation to make your experience when you actually do this on your own go a little bit smoother. Okay, so we have filtered it down to a three-step process. Number one, we're going to request a check from Paychex. That's done online. That's not a phone call. It's not done here. It's going to be done just you. It's going to be done online. Step two is you're going to get that check in the mail from Paychex. We're going to tell you what to do with it. And then step three, we're going to take that check, the form, the rollover form from ADP, and a Paychex account statement, all three of them, and mail it to ADP so that they will deposit your check into your ADP 401k. Okay. Step one, this is about getting your check. I recommend you screenshot this slide. So the way you access your account is through either the Paychex mobile app, which is available in the Google or the Apple store, depending on the type of phone you have, or you can go to online here through your browser, paychexflex.com, which is the same exact place that they store your paycheck, so you can see everything in one place. Now, once you get in there, I've written down the exact path you need to follow. So screenshot that. And then once you're in there, I recommend you download, or I strongly suggest you download your current account statement. Then you print it off, because remember, we have to mail that to ADP so that they will deposit your check. Step two is, again, screenshot this. You'll get that check in the mail. You will write down on the check the plan number for the new 401k. Everybody has the same plan number because the plan number is assigned to Prime Providers 401k. This is not your account number. It's just the plan number. Okay? So they know where to put it. Step three, we're coming to the end here. Step three is you're going to mail three items to ADP: the rollover form from ADP, the check from Paychex, and the account statement from Paychex. Okay, people are coming in. This is good. Okay, what Don has said, this is very nice of he and his team, that if you want, you can bring your completed forms to him and his team. They will review it to make sure you haven't missed anything. And then they'll actually, if you want, they'll mail it for you to ADP in a beautiful packet. Now, the reason this is so important is because I'm not great at paperwork. That's why I hire great people to make sure all my forms are correct. Because if you miss one checkbox here or one thing here, they will send the check back. And then now we're tracking your check not only to them, but on the way back. So that's enough to stress you out around the holidays, right? We don't need that. So what I'm going to walk you through now is the actual screenshots of the Paychex mobile app and the website. It's the same thing, to show you what it looks like and how simple it is. Now, what's even better than that is Don has actually gone through this process already, so he can jump in with some useful tips and or questions that you might answer, the questions you might have. So the first thing we want to do, again, is log in the app or Paychex Flex, and then you're going to click on, you'll see on the top right of my screen, something called My Retirement. It'll be a link, tab, My Retirement, and then you will see the screen that I'm showing you right here. And there are two options. You can click on Rollover and Withdrawal or Statement History. Now, both of those are important, but for right now, we're going to click on Rollover and Withdrawal. And then you're going to click on the first option, which is Rollover out of this plan. Because remember, we're rolling out of the Right Choice 401k. Step 2 here is, this is the next screen you're going to see. You want to select full balance rollover, because again, I strongly recommend you move all of your money out. Don't leave any in the Paychex 401k, and roll it all out. So you'll select that first option, which I highlighted there. Now we're cooking with gas here. Okay, now they're going to review all your account information. So that's the available balance that this fictitious person has in their 401k. It'll label it as pre-tax. They don't have any Roth in there. And then you're going to be moving all of the money over, so it will have the full amount. And then on the bottom, if you can see that, there's the estimated rollover, then the taxes and fees. There's a $75 charge, not a tax, but a fee that Paychex charges to complete the paperwork, the transaction, and mail you a check. Okay, and then the remaining amount will be mailed to you in a check. Okay, and then now we're going to want to address who the check is going to be made out to. So we want to select on the next screen, New Employer's Retirement Plan. And then it's going to prompt you to enter the name of who the check is going to be made out to, and it's not actually you. So please pay attention. You do not want the check made out to you directly, because that's how it becomes taxable. And then you got to pay tax and penalty if you're under 59.5. So we don't want that. On the earlier screen I showed you up here, you want to have the check made out to Reliance Trust Company. You'll see that in bold, Reliance Trust Company. And then what they'll do is, now they will FBO, so it'll be Reliance Trust Company, FBO, and then it'll be your name. So it can only be deposited into your account in the ADP plan. And that's what will be summarized on this screen right here. It will say rollover method. It will say send check to, make payable to. All of that will be there filled in for you. But please review it, make sure it's correct, right? Now, there's two check boxes on here. The first one is highly recommended. The second one is mandatory. So the first one is very important, because they'll text you updates on where your check is in the process. And I highly recommend that, because, this is quite a bit of money. We want to make sure we know where it is. Don, you went through this. How was this process?
So Paychex is very organized with this process. So if you click that box and put in the mobile number that you wish for them to text you to, once you submit this, they'll indicate that they have received the information, and then they'll send you another text indicating that they've issued a check. And then from that date, you'll be able to kind of identify when your check might show up in the mail. One of the things is I know Eric has used the term FBO. FBO stands for the benefit of. So the check will be received to you. It'll say Reliance Trust for the benefit of, and your name will be printed on the check. So that check would be sent directly to ADP. It doesn't go through your bank at all, because of course, if it was made out to you, then you would be, like Eric explained, responsible for the taxes and penalties on that. So that keeps it from being that responsibility to you. You're showing Paychex and ADP and the government that you're actually wanting to roll it over from your previous 401k into your new 401k.
Excellent. Good catch on that. Thanks, Don, for that input. The second checkbox is saying that I'm authorized to request this distribution, and you're just verifying that you are authorized for it. So obviously you're going to check that box. Okay, and that's it. You just requested the check. The wheels are in motion, baby. That check is getting processed. They're going to give you an update on where you're at in the process, and then they're going to tell you when the check is cut. Now, these are the three most often asked questions, FAQ. Is there a processing fee? As we just mentioned, there is. That will get taken out of your account before they cut the check, so there's nothing to pay out of pocket. It's $75 processing fee. How long will it take, Eric? Distributions are processed within 10 days. I think, Don, you got it within a week or so?
Yeah, I think I got once I hit submit, they had said that they had received my request, and the next day I had received a text from them indicating that the check had been cut and mailed. So mine took, I think, maybe a total of 5 to 7 days at the most.
Wow, great. And then the third question is, if I roll out, are there going to be taxes and penalties? No, as long as you follow what we just covered here. Okay, if you deviate and you check some other boxes, the check could be made out to you. That's not what we want to do. So if you follow these instructions, no taxes and no penalties, okay? Because we want to keep all of your money growing for you so you have wealth down the road. Okay, so one more thing on this. Oh, Vanessa's going to jump in here. One more thing, as I mentioned earlier, we do need a copy of a current statement for the Paychex 401k, okay? Because ADP wants to verify that the check and the amount, everything is in sync. So on that first screen, after ADP processes your check, it'll bring you back to the home screen. You'll see right back where we started, rollover and withdrawal. You're going to select statement history. And what that's going to do is it's going to show all of your statements, the last, I think, 4 or 5. You'll pick the most recent one. You will should download it and then print it out and have that set aside. Maybe you write a little note on there for Don, right? And then you'll get that ADP rollover form. You want to fill that out and attach it to that statement. And then as soon as you get that check in the mail from Paychex, attach all 3 together, bring it into Don, or you can mail it directly yourself, which brings us to our last screen here. Again, you're going to get that you're going to get that check from Paychex, and you're going to write this plan number on it. And then you're going to send the check, the rollover form, and the account statement all together. And again, if you want, that's why I wrote wow, you can bring this into Don and his team, and they will actually take the time to review it, make sure it's correct, and there are no delays in you getting your money. If you feel confident that you've done everything correct, you do have the option to mail it overnight or regular mail directly to ADP. But if you do that, don't call Don and ask him, where's my money? Okay, great. Okay, so let's summarize, all kidding aside, 3-step process, requested a check. You're going to do that. We showed you how to do it. You get that check in the mail. Then you take that, the ADP form and the statement, attach them, mail them to ADP. Okay, what we did was we compiled some frequently asked questions here that are specific to Right Choice and Prime providers. Questions like, can I cash out? You certainly can. This is your money. It's always been your money. Nobody touches your money except you. But I strongly, strongly encourage you to not do that. We really do want you to build wealth for you and your family. Don and the team spent money setting up this plan and maintaining it and paying us. So they do care about you keeping your wealth. Number two, I have a 401k loan. What do I do? Actually, we're going to have a separate program to handle all the 401k loans. If you are with Prime providers, we're going to transfer those loans over. If you are not with Prime, then you need to set up a program to pay the loan back with Paychex. Must I roll into the new Prime provider's ADP plan? No, you don't need to. You can roll it into an IRA, but you can't keep it in the Right Choice 401k anymore because that 401k is being closed out. Next question is, I'm not enrolled in the ADP 401k. Can I still do this? Yes, you can. You don't need to be enrolled in the Prime provider's 401k at ADP. I recommend you do, but you still can't roll your 401k over into there without being enrolled. Maybe you or a friend needs Spanish speaking assistance. That would be the phone number to call. If you have investment questions, specifically investment, you have three options. You can go online and hit the chat with paychexflex.com. You can call that number there, or you can email me. I will handle investment questions. Okay, so that's my email. That's the best way to reach me. Another question is, how do I check my balance? Or maybe, do I even have any money in the 401k? That's a great question. You can log into paychexflex.com or use the Paychex app. Log in, you'll see your paycheck, and you will see your 401k if you have one. How long will it take ADP to deposit my money? They tell us it'll be 5 days from when they get it. Can I track my check? Yes, you can. I think we covered that pretty clearly. If you put in your mobile number and they will track it for you. Great. Don, did you have any points you wanted to add? This is where we're going to do a Q&A. We'll kind of open it up for everybody.
Now some of the folks in this room, Eric, may actually be previous employees of Right Choice, and are no longer employees of Right Choice. You still have the option to roll that over into an IRA. The Paychex 401k will be terminated. And anytime that someone does not process anything, it will be an involuntary distribution for those staff, and it'll be automatically put into an IRA, and the IRA will be mailed to you. So if you do have a 401k with your new employer, you can roll over in the same process. Just remember the plan number would be different with your new employer's 401k. So make sure that you follow up with the new employer's 401k to get that information if you're wanting to do that. But of course, Eric recommends, I recommend that you not simply withdraw the money, but to try to keep it in a tax savings opportunity for you, either with a 401k or the IRA.
Good suggestions. Absolutely. So all of that is spot on. If you're still unsure, if you're not with Prime providers and you want to roll out of the Right Choice into your new employer's plan and you're not sure what to do, you can still reach out to me. My commitment has always been to help you guys build wealth, keep your wealth. So if you're not sure what to do, or you want me to introduce myself to your current company to explain what we're trying to accomplish, I'm happy to help you there. Just email me, and then we'll CC in your new HR person, and we will make sure this happens seamlessly, or at least try to make this happen seamlessly for you. Okay?
I know that a couple people joined us a little bit late, so I don't know if there's specific questions from those folks, but now would be a great time to ask those. We're happy to answer any questions you might have. And you just need to unmute yourself if you're currently muted.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I think you guys have the ability to. Don, do you want to handle that question?
Oh, yeah. So Vanessa, or let's see. Oh, Giovanni, this comes from Giovanni. What happens if you don't roll over? What will happen? So the 401k plan with Paychex will be terminated shortly. So if you decide that you do not move the funds over to your new 401k or move it over to the 401k through ADP, or select that you want it to go into an IRA, then it will eventually go into an involuntary distribution. And the involuntary distribution default is an IRA. So Giovanni, what would happen is that Paychex, because they have to close the account, would just simply roll it into an IRA and send you the IRA information. And that's where your money will be held. But Paychex would no longer be able to hold the money. That's why it needs to be moved by you. If you don't move it, then they'll automatically default it into an IRA for you, which is still a tax, deferral program, but it may not be exactly what you want. So take control of what you want to do with your money now. Otherwise, it'll just go into a default and they'll just simply put it into an IRA for you and send you the IRA information.
That's a great point, Don. You really explained that well. If I could add on to that, I've been doing this 20 years, and what happens is people with the best intentions procrastinate. They don't handle it. It does get rolled into what they call a trustee IRA. And what happens is it gets turned over to the state, basically, okay? Because
Okay.
Paychex says, look, we're done with this. They're not a participant anymore. We close down the 401k. And every year they publish this giant list of unclaimed assets. And some people might kind of roll their eyes, but here's the danger. If something happens to you, your family, no one knows where these assets are. Not only is it your money, you should take control of it, but your family could lose it forever if something happens to you because they don't know it's there. I can't tell you how many billions of dollars are unclaimed in people's names and they have nowhere to go. It's a terrible thing, especially when there's so much of America that hasn't built wealth. I'm really so focused on helping you guys, it doesn't take a lot of time. Just get on this. We'll help you. The good news is you got great support, and we'll transfer those assets over, whether it's an IRA, your new 401k, whether it's prime 401k, whatever it is, we're here to help you.
Yeah. For sure. Yeah, that money would end up with the state controller. And if you've ever gone onto the website of Lost Money, or I forget what it's called, Eric, it's amazing what you'll find on there. Sometimes people will have a bank account that they've forgotten about. And if the bank has tried to reach you and you've moved too many times, then they return it to the state. It is a long and tedious process to prove who you are, to get your money from the state controller. So this is really your opportunity to make sure that you're doing what you want with your money and that you're putting it into the account that you wish it to be in.
Well said. Okay, we'll just hang on a couple more minutes. If you guys have questions, you can also email Don after this. We're not like we're going away. We want to help you, but this is your time.
So I'll put my email in the chat room. So my email is dlucas@rightchoicecare.net. Okay, so
I see it.
Lucas@rightchoicecare.net. Now,
Outstanding.
I'm not the licensed broker for the account, so I cannot give you any advice on which investment you should put that in. That's actually what Eric is there for. I'm just your employer, so I can help you through the process, but Eric would be the person that you discuss your retirement plans with, whether you want to retire at 65 or 70, and he may be able to give you some recommendations on the different investments that you can do in your 401k.
Perfect. Well, that went really well. Everybody, thank you for joining. I think great information was shared. We're here to support you. I wish you well, and I hope to hear from you soon.
Thank you, Eric. Thank you,
Bye,
everybody.
everybody.
All right. Bye-bye.